Bry's Comics.
This channel is about comic book investment and speculation with tips on how to have the hobby fund itself, but it's rooted in a love and a passion for what's in between the covers of a comic book. The art, the stories, the rich history of these characters that have helped shape pop culture history and our society in general. I am a avid fan of the classics and the current comic books, and I do a lot of reading myself, and I wanted to do this video to help inspire others, just to make sure, just to wet that whistle of how rewarding it is to actually read comic books. So today we're taking a look and reading at an actual copy of Incredible Hulk #1, the first appearance of the Incredible Hulk, General Thunderbolt Ross, Betty Ross, and Rick Jones, an iconic, incredibly important issue in the mythos of Marvel Comics and the history of comics in general. It's not every day that you get to see the interior pages of a big grail like this, of a book worth about $20,000. And I gotta say, it hits a little different when you see the pages in person in their original form from 1960, and you look at that splash page and you see Incredible Hulk there. It hits a little different than it does from a facsimile cover. So I thought, why not share this with you guys? As you may have seen in my previous video, some really special, really valuable comics just came through the shop. They're currently at CGC being graded, and this one was Incredible Hulk #1 that I was getting ready to press, and I was checking the interior pages just to make sure there wasn't anything I was unaware of before I put it in the press, and I thought, I should record this and make a video where we actually read it. So we're trying something a little different, where I'm gonna have the actual book on one side of the screen and a facsimile edition on the other side, so you can zoom in and see what's actually going on in the panels and compare the two and how they present in the original form versus the digital form. So you're gonna have to bear with me on the editing. It's not perfect, but it is really good, and I hope that you enjoy this. Before we hop into it, remember, if you subscribe, comment, and like this video, you're entered to win a slab here on the YouTube channel. This month is Spider-Man 12, the first kiss between Miles and Gwen Stacy, in a 9.8. And if you head over to brycecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter over there, you're also entered to win a free slab. This month is the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America. I've already shipped out the winners for the August giveaway, but I forgot to mention in video, so congratulations to Ketchy. You were the winner of the YouTube giveaway for August, and congratulations to Brian W. You were the winner for the newsletter at brycecomics.com. And so grab some popcorn or some bags and boards. Forgive me for, my reading skills and my editing skills, but just put yourself there. Just suspend disbelief and immerse yourself in this incredible story, Incredible Hulk #1. The Incredible Hulk, the strangest man of all time. Is he man or monster, or is he both? Fantasy as you like it. And if there is a better first cover appearance, first full appearance, issue #1 from Marvel, I don't know what it is. You've got Bruce Banner, you've got Incredible Hulk, you've got General Thunderbolt Ross, you've got Betty Ross. I mean, what an epic, epic cover. They just don't hit quite like this anymore. And here's that famous coin ad, and here you can see some of the prices that they were offering up to for coins back in the 1960s. And here's that iconic splash page by Jack the King. Just look at that. I mean, such an epic, iconic, it just gives you chills when you see this in person. Part 1, the coming of the Hulk. Half man, half monster, the mighty Hulk thunders out of the night to take his place amongst the most amazing characters of all time. And they just absolutely nailed it with this. They knew back then that this was going to be the most amazing character of all time. Actually, I think that they didn't know that. They were hoping that it would be, and it didn't take long. I mean, issue 2 and 3, when they realized that they were really on to something special here with this character of the Hulk, and they just couldn't miss. They couldn't miss with their characters back then. Alone in the desert stands the most awesome weapon ever created by man, the incredible G-bomb. I guess there is a couple examples of where they had, really bad B-tier villain misses, but some of these hit super hard, and they definitely didn't miss on the Hulk. Miles away behind solid concrete bunkers, a nervous scientific task force awaits the first gamma bomb's first awesome test firing. And none is more tense, more worried than Dr. Bruce Banner, the man whose genius created the G-bomb. A few seconds more and we'll know whether we have succeeded or not. I love the way that they build suspense with just a few seconds. When I read this for the first time, I remember thinking, what's gonna happen? It was almost, I was against it from the start, Banner, and I still am. It is too dangerous. I still say you should have confided in us, your fellow scientists. You should have told us the secret of the gamma ray. Quiet, Igor. Here comes General Ross. Why the delay, Banner? What are you waiting for? And there's the first interior appearance of General Thunderbolt Ross, already in red, which was very interesting. My men have been stationed here for weeks, wasting time because of your infernal delays. Are you going to test that blamed bomb or not? Of course, General. It's just that I must be sure every precaution has been taken. We are tampering with powerful forces. Powerful forces? Bah! A bomb is a bomb. The trouble with you is you're a milksop. You've got no guts. They should have put me in charge of this test, by thunder. It would have been done by now. Is there a more iconic panel than this of General Thunderbolt Ross? Oh, Daddy, don't be so unfair. Dr. Bruce Banner is one of our most famous scientists. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. And there's the first interior appearance of Betty Ross. Keep out of this, Betty. This is man talk. And that is just so unbelievably epic. A sign of the times, man talk in big, capital, bold letters. Don't mind Dad, Dr. Banner. Ever since he was nicknamed Thunderbolt Ross, he's tried to live up to it. Humph. Thank you, Miss Ross. It was interesting that he's been Thunderbolt ever since that very first page. And now, if you'll excuse me, it's time for the final countdown. Good luck, Dr. Banner. It's ding-dong well about time. I'd never heard that phrase, ding-dong well about time. Listen, Banner, this is your last chance to tell me the secret of harnessing the gamma rays. It isn't right for you to be the only one who knows. Sorry, Igor, the formulas are locked away in my room, and there they will stay. And he says, you fool, nobody has checked your work. If you made an error, you might blow up half the continent. I oughta. And the funny thing about this is Igor is absolutely right. As far as the scientific method is concerned, you always have to have people check your work. But Bruce Banner says, I don't make errors, Igor. Dr. Banner, the final countdown has begun. I'll talk to you later, Igor. You know I detest men who think with their fists. In a few seconds, we will finally learn what happens when the powerful gamma rays are released. Again, building that suspense. Wait, what's that? Good Lord, it's a boy, a teenager. He's driving into the test area. And there we have the first interior appearance of Rick Jones. Igor, delay the countdown until I can get to that boy. Hurry, man. Every second counts. Sure, says Igor. What a stroke of luck. All I have to do is keep my finger off the hold button, and it'll be the end of Bruce Banner. Igor's about to sacrifice a teenager. You, get out of there. You're in a forbidden test area. Cool it, man. The kids bet me I wouldn't have nerve enough to sneak past the guards. And there's Rick Jones. Hey, what are you trying to do? Make them think I'm chicken? Come on, you fool. We've got to reach the protective trench before the bomb goes off. I'm not sure a trench would protect you from a blast like that, but Rick Jones says, bomb? Meanwhile, at the bunker, not having been told to delay the firing, a finger touches the fatal button. And here, I love how it says 87654, and then it goes, changes direction, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. Like, what kind of instrument is this? 3, 2, 1, 0, and the finger's on the button. There, you're safe, and now and the bomb goes off, and there's Rick Jones in the trench, and here he is absorbing those gamma rays. Although many miles from Bomb Zero, Dr. Bruce Banner is bathed in the full force of the mysterious gamma rays. The world seems to stand still, trembling on the brink of infinity, as his ear-splitting scream fills the air. What a panel. And now he is still screaming hours later when he's coming out of it now. Thank heaven. Banner, it's a miracle that you're still alive. You absorbed the full impact of the gamma rays. How did I get here? My name is Rick Jones. I brought you here. You saved my dumb life. I figured it was the least I could do for you. You know, it's a funny thing. I'm an orphan, and no one ever did anything for me before except you, a stranger. It's getting dark out. How long are they going to keep us here, Doc? I don't know. They must be waiting for me to die. It isn't possible to take so much gamma radiation and not have something happen. I'm beginning to feel strange. My head is throbbing. This must be the end. The whole world's going batty. Even this kooky radio won't play. All it gives out with is static. Click, click. That's no radio. It's a Geiger counter. Click, 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 click. It measures radiation. Listen to it. It's going wild. It's getting louder and louder. Click, click, click. Faster and faster. Click, click, click. What's happening? What's happening? Click, 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 click. Hey, look at you. You changed. I think this is the most understated response to the first transformation of the Incredible Hulk. You've changed. Get out of my way, insect. And he smashes Rick Jones to the ground. Where am I? Why am I locked in here? I want to get out. So this, I think, is like one of the first panels where, they're playing with his character and his identity and like who he is, his powers and everything in his personality. Is he dumb? Is he smart? Is he connected to Bruce Banner? Is he not? It's so interesting to see how they play with that and develop that over, the course of history, really. But here he seems to be pretty coherent. I want to get out. Where am I? Why am I locked in here? None of that dummy hulking stuff. But I think that changes here pretty quick. Holy cow, he's breaking down the wall like it was cardboard. Out. See, and so already now, it's switched to like, dumb Hulk. Hey, Sarge, look ahead. What's that? Men, more little men. I don't know, but if he doesn't stop, we'll hit him. And he smashes through the truck. As the stunned enlisted men pick themselves up from the wreckage, the mighty thing that was once Bruce Banner turns and have to get away, to hide. So now he's full on like partial dummy. Like a wounded behemoth, the man monster storms off into the waiting night. Wait for me. And here's Rick Jones following him. I think it's really interesting that they tied the two characters so close together in the beginning. One lone figure follows him as a legend is born. You saved my life. You need me now. Wait, I'm going with you. And right they were about a legend being born. And here's that famous ad about how to take charge of a highly paid job in air conditioning and refrigeration, where you train at home with real equipment and build a 1/4 horsepower heavy duty condensing unit. So here's part 2. One of my favorite things about this issue is that all the parts are all Hulk stories, like original Hulk stories. And here is part 2, The Hulk Strikes. And it says, like a silent dreadnought, the hulking thing that was once Bruce Banner crouches in the shadows as the pursuing troops rush by. Mustn't let them find me. So he's still in the Hulk form. Fan out, men. We've got to find that Hulk. And thus a name is given to Bruce Banner's other self, a name which is destined to become immortal. Look sharp there. Don't let that Hulk get his hands on you. I wonder if this really was where they decided on the name, or I wonder if they had decided on the character and his name before they even started writing the story. While back at the base hospital, it's impossible. Nothing human could have smashed a 2-foot thick concrete wall, but he did. The Hulk did it. Bruce Banner and the boy, what became of them? Could the Hulk have? But who could ever guess the incredible truth? Who could suspect that Bruce Banner is the Hulk? Where is he headed for, says Rick Jones. We have to keep moving, says the Hulk. Have to reach home. Formula inside. Must get formula. I mean, it just screams of undertones of, Frankenstein and just all of the other influences. That's one of the biggest things about this is I see so much influence in this character and this story. Driven by sheer instinct, the part of the Hulk which is still Bruce Banner heads for a small cottage, smashing all obstacles in his path. Moving with unbelievable stealth for one so ponderous, he storms closer and closer to his destination. Until at last a dim memory from his brain of Bruce Banner tells him. So again, they're really developing the link between Bruce Banner and the Hulk and how that all plays into his character. The third cabin, that is where I must go. So see, again, now he's talking in full, complete sentences. So interesting. But within the cabin, the man called Igor is so intent upon a secret task that he doesn't hear the muffled footsteps drawing nearer and nearer. The gamma ray formula must be here somewhere. And then, an intruder. Well, you will not live to report Igor to the security police. What are you? I have put a 38 slug in your shoulder and still you advance. You didn't even feel the shot. No, stay back. Don't. You will shoot me no more. And he grabs the gun. So this is what puny humans fear. And he grabs the gun and he crushes it. And now, no, it's impossible. You aren't human. Human? Why should I want to be human? Stop it, don't. You'll kill him. Put him down. Help. Down? I will put him down. So, and he whacks him into all the equipment on the table. Gosh, look, there's something taped to the bottom of that glass beaker. It must be what he was searching for. It's obvious, of course, that's where you would hide the top secret report. The top secret report on gamma ray bomb. It looks important. We better get it to the army. I'll bet you wrote it while you were Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner, why do those words stay in my head? What is that name to me? That face, I know that face. But it is weak, soft. I hate it. Take it away. You can't hate it. Don't you understand? This guy in the picture before you changed, he was you. I seem to remember now. It was the bomb, the gamma rays. They turned me into this when darkness fell. It would have happened to me if you hadn't saved me. That's why I'm staying with you. So they reveal the origin story there. Fool, I am glad it happened. I'd rather be me than that puny weakling in the picture. Again, like super coherent sentences. I don't want you with me. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. With my strength, my power, the world is mine. As for you, you are the only one who knows who I really am. What? What do you mean? But at that very instant, the first rays of dawn appear, and with them, my head. My brain, it's on fire. What is happening to me? I'm changing. Changing. It feels as though a veil has been lifted. I can think again. It's over. The nightmare is over. Gosh, you're Dr. Bruce Banner again. So that's how they, but alas, the nightmare of Bruce Banner is not yet over. It may never be over again. Open up in there. This is the police. And that's the end of part 2, where they firmly establish, his powers, that he turns into the Hulk when night falls and then back into Bruce during the dawn. So it's, again, more influence, more, like werewolf type influence on him. And here we have an ad for an 8mm projection picture, motion picture projector, $6.98. I'm sure that was a pretty penny back then. And then you have a complete 4-piece match set of luggage. There you go. Not too bad. $3 for that. So here's part 3 of 5, the search for the Hulk. Where is he? Where's the Hulk? He's got to be in here somewhere. Dr. Banner. The Hulk? They must mean you, Doc. Empty. But we trailed him here. We know he came in here. Look, Captain, it's Igor, the spy we've been searching for. The Hulk. The Hulk. I wonder why they do these different color panels, like why they would make him pink and them orange. Are they trying to show, like, position on the page or something? I don't really understand that. Get him to the doctor. He must have been in league with the Hulk. What happened to you, Dr. Banner? Why did you leave the hospital? How did you get that shoulder wound? How do we know you're not mixed up in this? Are you kidding? What do you think he is, the Hulk? Captain, we're in the Jeep which hit the Hulk. We got a good look at him. He was nothing like Bruce Banner. He was huge, powerful. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a giant gorilla that escaped from the zoo. No, he was more like a big bear dressed in tatters, probably escaped from the circus somewhere. Personally, I think you jokers were seeing things. He was just a little Cub Scout on patrol. It's fortunate that Igor didn't get that gamma bomb formula. I'll take it for safekeeping. Minutes later, after the troops have left to continue their vain search for the Hulk, Dr. Banner, I return to apologize for my father's remarks to you, but I never expected to find me in the middle of a search for a monster. Neither did I. You're ill. You need medical care. No, he doesn't, lady. He just needs a little peace and quiet. That's all. How many people can relate to your wife thinking that you need to go to the hospital when you just need to rest? Miss Ross, forgive me. I've been under a terrible strain. Rick will show you to the door. Sure, Doc. You just take it easy. Very well. I'll go. But if you should need me... Miss Ross, Betty, I'll call you later after I've had a chance to pull myself together. Oh, it's Betty now. Bah, how revolting. Please do, Bruce. I feel you're in some great trouble and I want to help. So they develop the relationship here. Boy, I thought they'd never leave. Now we can talk. What did it feel like, Doc, being the Hulk? I'll bet it was a gas. Say, what's wrong? It's all over now, isn't it? Over? No, Rick, it isn't over. It's just beginning. Remember, I became the Hulk when night fell and returned to my normal self at daybreak. But day doesn't last forever. It will soon be night again. And when the sun sets, how do I know I won't change once more? How do I know I won't keep changing? Into that brutal, bestial mockery of a human, that creature which fears nothing, which despises reason and worships power. Some cool character development. Soon the sun will set again, and here I sit, helplessly fearing I may again become the Hulk. And here's a radio, television, electronics ad. And here we have part 4, the Hulk, enter the gargoyle. So let us leave Bruce Banner and his young friend Rick for a moment and turn our attention to the red spy known as Igor as he broods darkly in his cell. The American fools think I am defeated, but not yet. No, they shall soon learn that even in a cell, Igor can be dangerous. For they do not suspect that pasted onto my thumbnail is a sub-miniature transistor shortwave sending set. Now, there is an advanced piece of technology for the time. A set with which I shall now send a secret message to behind the Iron Curtain. And thousands of miles away, comrade, I am receiving a message from Igor. Quick, let me have it. This is high priority. I must give it to the gargoyle. But I dare not face the terrifying one. I have the answer. Wait, why do you give me this message? Why do you not bring it to the gargoyle? You are my superior, comrade. It is for you to bring it. Nice little pass in the buck there. I cannot bear to face the gargoyle. There is but one thing to do. Comrade, do not ask me to do this, I beg you. Do it. It's an order. So he passes the buck again. The gargoyle, the most feared man in all of Asia. Who is outside my door? Speak, or the face of the gargoyle's wrath. I have a message for you, comrade gargoyle. That is all. The cowardly weaklings dare not face me, but that is how I want it. Let them fear me. Let them fear me. Someday all the world will tremble before the gargoyle. This message, it's unbelievable. In America, there exists a creature called the Hulk whose power almost matches mine. I must find this Hulk. I must either slay him or bring him back as my prisoner as a symbol of my might. Attention, this is the gargoyle. Prepare a rocket firing sub for immediate departure. That is all. Brief hours later, the very latest model red sub cuts through the murky depths of the sea. Until, reaching a prearranged area, it unleashes an experimental man-carrying rocket. What's that? Our radar has tracked an unidentified missile heading this way. Unleash our Hunter missiles. Such an awesome panel right here. I mean, just so crude, yet perfectly accomplishes the purpose of the panel. Within seconds, America's mighty defense structure unleashes its fantastic arsenal, and the missile is destroyed, but I have landed at my destination safely. And now it is time for the gargoyle to meet the Hulk. And so fate twists the threads of our tale tighter and tighter until, where are you going, Doc? It'll be evening soon. Shouldn't we be at home waiting to see? No, Rick. If I am destined to become that inhuman creature again, let it happen out in the open this time. Interesting that they use the word inhuman right there. And it isn't until, years later that they actually create the Inhumans. So you can see these ideas just brooding around in the heads of these genius creators. It's hard to believe, Doc, you're the most famous missile expert in the world. You're brainy and cultured and all that jazz, and yet, due to the forces unleashed by the gamma ray, I turn into a marauding, savage brute at nightfall. That's why I gotta stay with you, Doc. Without me around, you might do something awful. You might even kill someone. Doctor, Doc, your hands. They're changing. They're becoming the Hulk again, just as I feared. I cannot stop it. It will happen every evening. So they kind of, seal this part of his powers. Doc, keep your hands on the wheel. Look out. Wheel? Who cares about the wheel? Who cares about anything? Slowly, ponderously, from out of the wreckage a head emerges, but not the sensitive, clean-cut head of Dr. Bruce Banner. No, this is the brutish, menacing head of the Hulk. And here you can see clearly, he's definitely green in this panel. And then he's gray again. I wonder if that's just one of those weird things where they just change the character to a completely different color, like red, blue, green, pink. What am I doing here? Gotta go. Go where? Oh, my head, we're lucky to be alive. I know this countryside near General Ross's house. Betty lives there. No, wait, you can't see Betty like this. Stop. My quest is ended. It is he, the one I seek, the Hulk. Just super convenient that there they are together in their forms out in the middle of nowhere. Meanwhile, just a short distance away, Betty Ross is lost in her own disturbed musings. I can't get Bruce Banner out of my head. Somehow I feel he needs me. And here's this not chauvinistic at all Dr. Thunderbolt Ross. What is it, girl? You seem troubled all day. Oh, Dad, if only things were as simple as in your day, when the cavalry charge or a squad of infantrymen could solve anything. It's so interesting, that at this time, she's the modern day, and then he's the dated one, and back in his day. But today, with the strange, almost supernatural forces all around us, I feel as though we're on the brink of something fantastic, unimaginable adventure. Honey, you just need a little fresh air. Dad's right. Perhaps a walk in the crisp night air will clear my head, will drive the troubled face of Bruce Banner from my thoughts. And perhaps I can tell myself it was all a dream. There is no Hulk. But there is a Hulk, and don't you forget it, says the Hulk. Oh, no. Fainted. Bah, just like all weak, helpless creatures. Hulk, let go of her. You've got to leave here. If you're found this time, they'll... Shut up. Nobody tells the Hulk. You are wrong, monster. Turn around and face the gargoyle. And that's the end of that part. And here's a story ad. I'll give you the keys to this brand new car just 30 short days from now. Just 4 orders daily for my super comfort shoes. It will make the down payment for you, and you can easily pay the balance with the profits. I'll show you how to make. So there you go. All you have to do is sell these comfy shoes, and you get a brand new car. And we're selling grit. 5 cents profit. 5 cents profit yours on every copy sold. Just exploiting children and the way they did back in the 60s. The 2 greatest new fantasy magazines in the world. Amazing Adult Fantasy, the magazine that respects your intelligence, tales that are strange, thrilling, always different, and the Fantastic Four, with America's greatest fantasy characters. So just an interesting all-page ad there with all the stuff from the 60s. And here's part 5, the Hulk Triumphant. Holy Hannah, who's that? Hey, look out. Hulk, he's got a gun. Bah, no puny pistol can kill the Hulk. But the gargoyle did not journey these many miles just to kill you, fool. This is a different kind of gun. This weapon shoots a pellet of my own invention. Observe. The instant it strikes you, it saps your will, making you my slave. The Hulk is no man's slave. Ha, the gargoyle is never wrong, and though you seem too unimportant to waste another pellet on, I believe in taking no chances. It is done. Both of you, rise and follow me. Rise. The Hulk is under his command, and now they're zombie-like. Fortunately, in the excitement of the moment, the gargoyle does not notice the unconscious girl lying in the shadows behind his two helpless prisoners. How easy it is for the gargoyle to be victorious. And moments later, Betty, Dad, it was horrible. It was the Hulk. He came from out of the darkness. He was terrifying. There, my dear, you're safe now. But where did he go? What did he want? Or did I imagine the whole thing? I'll find him, Betty. I swear to you, my child, I'll find him and destroy him. And yet, in spite of everything, there was something sad about him, almost as though he was seeking help. I'll find him. If it takes an eternity, I'll find that monster. And in a speeding truck driven by a driver whose will has also been sapped, the gargoyle and his prisoners speed toward the coast, racing to their destination before the dawn. Faster, faster! What a prize the Hulk will be. What a fantastic specimen for our scientists to study. If we could create an army of such powerful creatures, we could rule the earth. Finally, in the early hours before daybreak, the rendezvous is reached. Hurry, row faster, you dolts. Nothing must stop me now. And nothing does stop the gargoyle. For minutes later, made it. And, we have reached the edge of space. Now we shall level off and glide behind the Iron Curtain. Super convenient, they're able to do that. But then the first faint rays of dawn touch the Hulk, and he sits in the cabin of the plane, which the Reds have copied from our own amazing X-15. And as daylight bathes the brutal features, once again a startling, incredible change take place. When once the mighty Hulk had been, the light of the sun now reveals Dr. Bruce Banner, American scientist. The change is now complete. Hours later, as the red ship glides to a landing on communist soil, the gargoyle receives a startling surprise. Whew, I'm glad the effect of that gun wore off. The Hulk! What happened to the Hulk? Got any idea what this joker is talking about, Doc? Not the slightest, Rick. Doc? Wait, I know you. Of course, you're America's foremost atomic scientist. Dr. Bruce Banner, that means you and the Hulk. Oh no, it's too unbelievable. Under close guard, the gargoyle rushes his prisoners to his secret stronghold, and then, your secret is a secret no longer, Banner. I know that you and the Hulk are the same. Doc, what do we do now? Easy, Rick. It's his play so far. But why? Why would you want to be a monster? You must be insane. It's the most horrible thing in the world to be a freak, a gargoyle like me. Doc, he's crying. So an interesting turn in the plot here of how he's going to escape this. I'd give anything to be normal, anything. And Banner says, so would I, but I'm as helpless as you. Wait, listen to me. I cannot stop myself from turning into the Hulk, but your case is different. I've seen cases like yours. I know how to cure you by radiation. But although your features would become normal, your brain would suffer. You would no longer be a brilliant scientist. Doc, you ain't gonna help that creep, are you? Quiet, Rick. No matter what happens to me, even if I die, so long as I could die as a man. It's crazy how quickly he churned of his evil plan. Then, at a command from the gargoyle, all is made ready. Now, and just like that, they just blast him back. And where a gargoyle had been laying, Doc, it's working. A man rises. You did it! You did it! I actually really like how they just wrapped this little story arc up completely, so quickly and so tightly. Ignoring the two others in the silent lab, the lone figure walks to a portrait on the wall, and then, in quivering tones, he speaks. It was because of you that I became what I was, because I worked on your secret bomb test, but it took an American to cure me, and now that I'm no longer a gargoyle, I can defy you, and all you stand for like a man. So not only did they defeat him, but they churned him. And not long afterwards, yes, Comrade K, we have America's top atomic scientist. We shall learn much from him. What? How dare you interrupt when I'm speaking to the premier? But, comrade, a disaster has occurred. Look. The prisoners have escaped, but where is the gargoyle? He has vanished. Listen, what is that? The gargoyle's escape rocket. Quick, break into his office. Perhaps we'll find a clue. Come in, comrades. I have been expecting you. Who are you? I was once the man you called the gargoyle. But now I am a man again, no longer brilliant, no longer a scientific genius. My work is done, and so I shall die, but I shall die as a man. Don't trigger that switch. Don't trigger that switch. Wow, in the rocket ship above, the gargoyle set its controls for America, Rick, and set the automatic escape ejector for us. So we're saved by Americans' arch enemy. Gosh, what a churn. Nobody saw that coming. You did it, Doc. You made him normal again and turned him against the Reds. Listen, that blast, what is it? It's the end of the gargoyle, and perhaps the beginning of the end of the Red tyranny, too. The end. Yes, Bruce Banner and Rick are safe for now, but in a few hours it will be nightfall again, and the Hulk will again appear. So don't miss the next great surprise-filled issue. Note, starting next issue, we will feature a letters to the editor page. Mail your knocks or boosts to editors, The Hulk, 3rd floor, 655 Madison. And what's interesting about this is in issue number 2, they say like, holy smokes, you guys need to settle down with the letters. Like, we have so many letters, we can't even possibly get through them all. So it's interesting that this little thing right here just totally worked. Like, I just wish that I lived back in these times when like this was the way to comment, right? If you wanted to comment on this, you sent a letter. It just seemed so cool. And then it could actually be printed in the thing. So here's the last final back page ad, Bike Bonanza of Big Buys. And the back page, the secret Dynaflex method, where you can build a magnificent new He-Man muscled body in just 10 minutes a day with absolutely no weights, no barbells, no exercise at all. That doesn't sound like a scam. You can just get muscles with no exercise at all. And all you have to do is pay $2. There you have it, guys. One of the most iconic and special stories of all time. Make sure to follow me over on Whatnot. There's a link down in the description for $15 towards your first purchase. I hope to connect with you over there. It's a lot of fun to be able to actually communicate and go back and forth in the chat over on Whatnot. And follow me on Instagram, where Hulk #1 may be posted as a trade. We'll see what it comes back at and how that goes. But I do post trades for grails over on my Instagram page. Thank you, as always, for sticking with me to the end of the video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bry's Comics.